It's not about motivation. Winners need discipline. Wake up and win today. Discipline comes from within.
Gareth A. Davies, the man, the myth, the legend in the flesh.
Yes.
Not on a Zoom call. Gareth, the last interview we did, we left it on a bit of a high where I think you just announced that you had a housekeeper. And I pre-warned you, you were going to get a lot of stuff in the comments, and we've got some.
You called my housekeeper a maid. There's a different connotation to that. I have someone that helps me in my property. That's all it is.
Right, okay.
You know how busy we are. We can't do all the housekeeping ourselves, can we? The ironing, the washing, the dishes, the floors, the animals, looking after all the bits and pieces, you know. Stop grinning like I'm innuendoing, because I'm not.
Well, you can imagine all the stuff that came in. I picked out the best few, and I'm going to start with this, not the actual show that we're at. Somebody suggested that you've got yourself the best Tyson Fury lookalike as your housekeeper.
Oh yeah, she's 6'9", 19 stone, and she's so sweet.
Somebody reckons you're the type of guy that would carry a comb in your back pocket.
I never ever comb or brush my hair, ever, I'm afraid.
I was hoping you was going to pull a comb out.
No, there we go, boom. No, I've only got a mobile phone in the back, I'm afraid.
The last one, Gareth is the type of guy that goes for a brisk walk. Do you do brisk walks?
I do a brisk walk along the seafront, and I'm going to bring him in if I'm allowed. Brisk does mean chilly as well as a quick, rapid walk. I looked up that double meaning, so I had a row with Kugan Cassius about this the other day on IFL TV. I know I'm crossing boundaries here and cross-promotional stuff, but he was right as well, and I was right. It can mean a quick walk, or it can mean a cold walk, or a cold day, so both right. I will be recidivist in the truth for Cougs who's over there. 10 years in the sport now, and what are you, 6?
About 8.
13, sorry. 13, that means she's about 50. Yeah.
Good stuff, well, appreciate it.
Yeah, we're at Camden Boxing Club. It's my manor, this is, by the way. Spent many years living in NW5. This part of Camden. This might be NW1 here, actually, but we're right in the heart of Camden town. Adam Booth used to have a gym here, the Kronk Gym, just up round the corner in Kentish Town there. Steeped in amateur boxing clubs around here. It's a great sweat lodge, this gym, isn't it?
It is. It is really, really warm in here.
Yeah, really.
Let's start with this card. We'll start from the top. Buatti Aziz. Do you feel like this fight's now become a lot bigger than it was probably at the start? I feel like the hype's really picked up this week. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, it's picked up in the last few weeks. They're frenemies now, aren't they? They were friends, then they were enemies, now they're frenemies. There's a lot of enmity between these two guys. There's so much at stake. The winner fights for the world title next, arguably. WBA, 2 and 3 in the WBA. It's a terrific fight. I think they'll both stretch each other. I think that my feeling is that Buatti wins this on points, but don't write Dan Aziz off. He's busy, he's energetic, he works so hard. 17-0, 13 knockouts, 20-0, and whatever it is, 17 knockouts, 13 knockouts as well. Both undefeated, both really believe in themselves. Buatti's turned a bit nastier, hasn't he, in the last few weeks? I like to see that from him. All British bust up, ding dong, call it what you like. Really, really looking forward to it.
Do you think there's a possibility the winner would prefer to fight maybe Anthony Yard rather than a world title fight?
If that's a money fight and it works, then yes. But I wouldn't surprise me. Anthony Yard's got a fight announced in a couple of months, hasn't he?
He's fighting next week.
Oh, it's next week, is it? Yeah, so he's kind of ready for the summer. But if you think all the light heavyweight belts are tied up on June the 1st, if we believe that Artur Beterbiev and Bivol is going to go ahead in Saudi Arabia, then the belts could fracture at that point. So they might want to stay busy after this and have a Yard fight, or have a Callum Smith fight, or who else is there? Craig Richards. There's good fights around. Buatti's fought Richards, of course. But this is a really important fight for Buatti because he's been very much a slow burn for 6 years. And I think this is the fight that after this, if he's very convincing, he might want to go to world level and just stay there.
Interesting. I think it's a great fight either way. We've got Ben Whitaker on the card. I spoke to Ben earlier and I said you're getting a lot of criticism for your choice of opponents. But I think, do you reckon there's a hidden compliment there because people are thinking he's that good, he should be fighting at a world level already?
5-0 or something? No. He's a baby in professional terms. He's still developing that style. He's still developing lovers and haters for who he is and what he is and how he does things. His flashy moves, all that stuff. No, he's on a gentle trajectory. Let's leave him alone up to 10 fights. He'll start fighting for titles soon enough. By the end of the year, he'll be in a title fight of some kind, whether it's area, British, all that kind of stuff. He's not ready to get in the mix of those other guys quite yet. Can't wait to see him in with those guys. But no, the way that Shalom and Boxer are bringing him on is just perfect right now for me.
We just seen Victor Paulson go on the pads. Does he trouble Adam Azim at all?
Paulson.
Oh, sorry, Enoch Paulson, yeah. Does he give Adam Azim any...
knocked him out? No, Enoch Paulson. With Adam Azim, you mean? Well, again, I mean, I think he's Zambian originally, but based out of one of the Nordic countries. I think he's just gone by there. I mean, he's undefeated from memory. I think he's undefeated. But he's gone the distance with Froch Petitjean, who Adam Azim defeated, obviously. Look, Adam Azim's got flashing fists. He's very dangerous. Body shots are very hurtful. He's not going to change his style. Adam may lose 1 or 2 on the way through, but he's a massive talent. You're in there with a live wire whenever you're facing him. He is the home fighter. He's already headlined, doesn't he? Very young in his career. Was he 20 still, you know? So he's just a very exciting prospect. It's a very exciting card with Fran Hennessy on as well, who I think could be the next revolutionary female star of the women's divisions in the next few years. Daughter of the great Mick Hennessy, promoter who's never really given enough credit in this country, in my view. Worked with him for many, many years and around him. So, yes, great card.
I thought for a second you was going to say Fran could be the female Muhammad Ali. You said that about Ebony Bridges a while ago. You got a lot of
context.
I know it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was a much longer interview. No, but what I meant was...
You got a lot of shit for that.
That doesn't matter. What? Yeah, because someone clipped that up quite deliberately to make it... I spoke a lot about Ebony that day, and what I was saying was, in women's terms, she's so different to any other female boxer we've seen before, using her sexuality, her body, all those things. What I meant was, Muhammad Ali was a complete game changer in the sport, and I meant in a kind of weird way, she's a game changer for women's boxing. It was taken out of context, but yeah, you're right. I've had a lot of shit for that.
Fair play. Just want to quickly touch on John Fury's interview yesterday with Boxing Social, where he, in short, he threatened to smash up Carl Froch. I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said, but in short, that's pretty much what he said.
Who wins out of John and Carl Froch then?
No comment. I'm going to let you decide. But do you think Carl is basically just playing the game, the whole, just saying what he wants, knowing that it will attract eyes?
Yeah, there's a lot of clickbait from Carl. I mean, he knows the tender points in boxing. He knows the sport inside out. And he's challenging Tyson Fury's resume. Anyone that was around that trilogy of fights with Deontay Wilder knows it's one of the great trilogies in heavyweight boxing. I think Fury's about to fight Usyk. If he defeats Usyk and he fights Joshua, he's pretty much done the entire division. Yes, there's maybe a Bakoli fight. There's if he really wanted to do everyone in the division and mop up everyone, Bakoli and Zhang outside that. Apart from that, who is there?
Well, something John said that kind of struck by me.
Listen, he went to Germany, beat a guy who'd been champion for 9.5 years, whose career I covered. No one could beat Klitschko. And when he went in against Wilder, no one was beating Wilder at the time. You could argue that did Wilder avoid Klitschko? Did Klitschko avoid Wilder? Why didn't Joshua and Wilder meet from 2018 onwards? just because Wilder has one poor performance and Fury has one poor performance in his last outing, and Joseph Parker has an amazing performance, and Ngannou, you can't just denigrate people for their entire career as a result.
And there's a point John made that kind of stuck with me. He basically said, when Tyson's retired, there is nobody else. So I want to ask you, Gareth, looking at the landscape, we've got some young guns on this card. Who could fill that void of like the guy that gets 100,000 views every time he's interviewed and maybe become a pay-per-view star, and the guy that there could be documentaries done on Netflix? Who is that next guy?
What, in the heavyweight division?
Any division, worldwide. Like, in fact, UK, UK.
I think, UK. Could be a Ben Whitaker's, your Adam Mazims. It could be Moses Itauma. Definitely Moses Itauma. Very, very interesting. It could be, I'm trying to think of the other rising stars.
The names you mentioned, do they have that personality and that persona that Tyson has?
No, but Tyson wasn't like that when he started. You didn't know that about him. Remember, I was covering his career from 2008. He was very, very interesting, very fascinating. But people's charm and charisma grows as they get more confidence in the public, as the public knows them, as things develop. So you can't, someone doesn't come on the scene. Ben Whitaker's got all those capabilities. Adam Azim will grow into being confident as a media figure. Moses Itauma is only 18 still, isn't he? 18, 19. So people grow into those roles.
If you could pick
out questions,
could you pick out one name? Who would you think it could be?
Because it's heavyweights, I think it's Moses Itauma.
Interesting. That's pretty much it, I think. Anything else you want to cover, Gareth?
No, looking forward to seeing you in Riyadh and looking forward to this weekend. Buatti on points I'm picking, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aziz won either.
Just a quick prediction, Hamza Shiraz, Liam Williams.
Hamza Shiraz. Very dangerous fighter, very powerful. Liam Williams will come to fight. I've got Shiraz winning that.
Gareth A. Davies, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Fear. Most people are governed by their habits, their fears, and their opinions of others.